This is In Case You Missed It, your national agriculture news recap for the week ending May 29, 2026. Canadian farm cash receipts surpassed the $100 billion mark in 2025, the 100th year of official counting. Statistics Canada first began collecting that data in 1926. Farms' realized net income fell by 0.3% to $8.3 billion. However, if cannabis is excluded, net income increased by 9%. Livestock receipts were up more than 13% in 2025, with cattle and calf receipts up 22.5% on record high prices. Hog receipts also had a strong year, climbing 13.9% on lower inventory and increased demand. Crop receipts were up 0.6%. Horticultural products had a particularly strong year, as did soybeans and cannabis. However, with reduced canola exports due to trade restrictions, the oilseed saw a 6.4% drop in receipts. Farm operating expenses rose by 5.1%. More than a third of that increase came from livestock and poultry purchases due to steep cattle prices. Lubricant prices are rising, and there could be supply shortfalls on the horizon, all linked back to the war in Iran. That's according to Holly Alfano, CEO of the Independent Lubricant Manufacturers Association. Alfano said 2 analysts had told her that the supply crunch will come to a head in late June or early July. However, they don't know how bad that crunch will be. Nigel Buffon is Senior Director of Crop Protection with AgCanada. He said the company that supplied their lubrication products is getting 70 to 80% of its normal feedstocks. Initially, that company told FBN it had stockpiled materials before hostilities broke out and didn't expect prices to rise. However, it has burned through those supplies, and prices have now increased 10 to 35% depending on the product. Alfano said the issue is linked to base oils. The most popular base oil used in lubricants is Group 3, and 3 Persian Gulf suppliers make 44% of Group 3 oil used in the United States. Alfano's organization suspects the U.S. will run out of Mideast origin Group 3 by June, and alternative suppliers like Korea are also facing shortages. Canada's ethanol industry is pushing for changes to federal clean fuel regulations. Canada's clean fuel regulations treat ethanol imports the same as domestic production, said Andrea Kent. Kent is Vice President of Industry and Government Affairs for Greenfield Global. Imported ethanol from the U.S. gets the benefit of American production credits worth upward of 30 cents a liter. Then it gets to double dip with Canadian incentives. Canada imported nearly 800 million gallons of American ethanol in 2025 and is on pace to purchase even more this year. Kent said demand for ethanol is rising, but that market share is being captured by imports. In September, the Canadian government promised changes to the regulation to support development of the Canadian low-carbon fuel sector. Kent said there are shovel-ready projects in Ontario and Quebec that are waiting on those regulatory changes. Producers want an ethanol-specific credit multiplier that would offset the subsidies on American imports. Until there's some kind of equalizer, Kent said banks will be reluctant to invest in the Canadian sector. In case you missed these and other stories from across the Glacier Farm Media Network, visit AgCanada.com or download the AgCanada app.